What's up, y'all? It's your girl Amanda, and we are back with another episode of Mandy's Entertainment Reviews. So, this is the first episode of the new year. Uh, I will wish y'all a happy new year, but it's February 1st. So, like I said in Man Thompson and stuff, I did decide to push back the Mandy's Entertainment Reviews episodes to the new year because it's just so many new documentaries coming out. Um, but these are from when I did them back in the fall. I just never got around to them. So for this episode, we are doing the Magic City and American Fantasy review. It came out on Stars. Now it was released in 2025. Probably I'm thinking like August 2025. I didn't watch it until like October, November-ish of 2025. It had 5 parts. So because I binged watched all 5 parts in one sitting, well, it took a couple days for me. Um, I just watched all the parts in one sitting. I don't know if it like did the weekly episodes like normal TV does, but I watched all 5 parts in one sitting, and I give it a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. It was a great documentary, well produced. Jermaine Dupri and all of them, they were involved in that, so very, very well produced. Anything Jermaine Dupri does, in my opinion, a majority of what Jermaine Dupri does is great, and I like it. Um, so my general thoughts is it was a great documentary. And fun fact about me, y'all, I've been to Magic City. I went when I was like 26. So my best friend wanted to celebrate her birthday. I think she's older than me, so she was about to turn 27. And we went to Atlanta. We've never been to Atlanta. She wanted to bring her birthday in style, so we went to Atlanta and we decided to go to Magic City, right? So we go to Magic City. It was kind of popping. It wasn't like popping like it is like at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? So we go. Okay, so we get to the door, right? We read somewhere that the entry fee was one thing, but I guess we got there so early, we ended up having to pay more. So we ended up paying like I think it was like $50 a person. I could be exaggerating. I could be wrong, but it was more than whatever website we were looking at was charging. So we go in, and I grew up listening to Atlanta rap. So I would hear like, oh, how cool Magic City is and how poppin' Magic City is. And it was poppin', the music was poppin' or whatever. But what we found out was Magic City is so small. It's like the size of an elementary school gym with limited seating, kind of. So we ended up taking like a seat in this bench in the corner of the club. Now, I've never been to a strip club. And at the time, I wasn't single, but I wasn't like really invested in my relationship. Basically, it was towards the end, right? So we go and we sit in the corner booth, this like leather, not leather, velvet couch bench ish. This really, really sweet stripper. Never got her name. So every time I tell this story, I have to call her the stripper. I don't want to call her the stripper, but she was so sweet. She walked over to us. She gave us a lap dance. I gave her $6. So that's my Magic City experience. I would do it again. It was fun. It was a fun night. It was my best friend's birthday. We were celebrating her, and it was a lot of fun. But they had a weird like rule about the food because we always hear about how good the food is, right? So they said something and like, please correct me in the comments. Um, you have to have like a $60 tab or something to order food. We ended up not ordering food. So I don't know if I have any Atlanta listeners. We left Magic City and we went to this place I really like. If I were to go back to Atlanta, I would definitely eat there again. It's called Match Oven or something. Really good food, great service, all that stuff. So shout out to Match Oven if they're still open. Because it was in 2021, we're in 2026 now, so I don't know if they're like still open, but it's a great restaurant. It's by it's like in the industrial area of downtown Atlanta. I could be wrong. I remember seeing a lot of like industrial parts of Atlanta. So yeah, shout out to them. But I learned because I've been to Magic City. I think that visit was kind of like brief to a point where I would not learn any history of Magic City from anybody. Strippers were too busy giving lap dances and the kitchen was busy and all that stuff. And the bathroom, oh my God. So there's a lot of people who travel from out of town. So I'm from Chicago. We actually met a lady who was celebrating her bachelor party or her birthday, and she was from out of town. She's not from Atlanta. I think she was from LA or something. And we were all trying to squeeze into this teeny tiny little bathroom. I swear it was crazy. It was so funny. It was so small. But yeah, that's my Magic City experience. But I learned a lot of history about Magic City in this documentary, which is great. So as you guys know, I've been listening for the past couple years. I do my documentary reviews, any type of reviews in KWL. If it's nonfiction, if it's fiction, I do the prediction and the conclusion comparison for fiction TV shows. But since we are doing a documentary on Magic City, so let's start with no. What I know is Magic City is mentioned in rap songs, primarily in Atlanta or Southern rappers' songs. I've been listening to Southern rap since I was a kid. My family's from the South, so of course I've been hearing it all my life. Magic City is in the heart of Atlanta. Again, I've been there. I remember getting in the Uber. Uber driver was kind of excited for us to go to Magic City. In Atlanta, so when I went to Atlanta, our Uber rides, 'cause we didn't rent a car. We were old enough, but we just didn't want to rent a car because we knew about like the potholes and the crazy drivers down in Atlanta. So we Ubered everywhere, and the places were not far where we were going. Like I think the furthest we went to was not Lenox, but in that area, the mall across the street from Lenox. I think that's Perimeter Mall. I think Phipps Plaza. Yeah, that was Phipps Plaza. Yeah. So, but yeah, we didn't really go far in Atlanta. So. Very expensive to get in. Like I told you, I probably paid like $50, $60 to get in. I can't remember, but it was very expensive. They serve food. I've been there before. Clark Atlanta, Georgia Tech, and Spelman students strips to pay their tuition because some students are not very lucky to have great financial aid or whatever. So, being a stripper, I have no problem with it. I'm not against it. It's easy money and it pays for your education. So be. The strippers were cool. The strippers I encountered, they were cool. I hear they have the best swings. Very entertaining. And it was founded by a black man. Mr. Magic. And I'm not pocket watching nobody, but Jermaine Dupri, I heard him say he spends thousands there. Well, if you're Jermaine Dupri and you made the money you made back in the 90s, 2020s, 2010s, and all those years, because Jermaine Dupri has been doing it for years. So yeah. So W, what do I want to know? It wasn't a lot because again, I've had a Magic City experience. What's the early days of Magic City like? Magic City opened way before I was born. Who are all the celebrities who have actually been there? Now we all know the celebrities who live in Atlanta have been there. Like we know that, but who else will we be surprised to know has been to Magic City? Whose idea was it to serve food there? Because I remember, I think it was a Chris Rock special. I think it was the one that came out in 99 or 2004, where he said that tater tots and titties don't mix. I remember him saying that. So I want to know whose idea was it to serve food there. What is the future of Magic City? And lastly, what was done during the pandemic? Now, again, y'all, when I went, it was kind of like the end of the pandemic, where they like unmasked, where they opened, like what did they do during like those times where like people were really getting sick and, dropping like flies. So what did they do for that? So, what I learned, Michael Jordan, Tupac, and Magic Johnson came to Magic City. Now, I watched that show, Showtime, about Magic Johnson. I kind of knew like Magic Johnson was a ladies' man. Tupac, we all know, was a ladies' man. But Michael Jordan, every time I see Michael Jordan, it's like, I think Michael Jordan just has like rich, stuck up people fun. And what I mean by rich, stuck up people fun is like gambling. I thought that's all he did was gamble. But I didn't know he was really into strip clubs. And then, Michael Jordan lived in Chicago for a majority of his playing years. There are strip clubs here, but a lot of the black strip clubs, because Michael Jordan's a black athlete, were in the south suburbs. And I think Michael Jordan lived in the north suburbs. So I don't see myself thinking like Michael Jordan driving all the way from the north suburbs to the south suburbs for like a ghetto strip club experience. So, but I wouldn't think he would go to Magic City per se. Um, it was funded by Mr. Magic, and he was a father figure to the strippers. I'd never heard of like someone owning a strip club and being a father figure to the strippers. I thought that was pretty cool because sometimes people need a father figure, stripper or not. Um, Mr. Magic went to Duke University, very exquisite, very high class university. He married his wife. She didn't want to move south. Gail Barney thought it wasn't progressive. Well, I kind of see where she was coming from because the South back in like probably the 80s and 90s, maybe the 70s too, they were kind of coming from like the Jim Crow era. And maybe she just assumed that it wasn't, you know, it was either being slow or just not coming to like, the days. If you know what I mean. Like, I understand, but thankfully it's Atlanta is super progressive. Like it's a head like a I wouldn't say headquarters, but like a popular spot for LGBTQ people to move to and thrive and all that stuff. So, but she thought it wasn't progressive. She didn't want to be like, I don't want to move down south. Now there are certain parts of the South that ain't progressive in 2026, and we're not here to talk about that. The first African American mayor of Atlanta was Maynard Jackson. I didn't know that. I never lived in Atlanta. I've only visited. And when I visited Atlanta, I think Keisha Lance Bottoms was the mayor of Atlanta at the time. It was like 2021. So I think Mayor Lance Bottoms was the mayor. And then now she's running for governor. I hope she wins. That would be really cool. Really, really cool. Um, Magic City opened in 1985 to a rough start, which I believe because not all, like a lot of the major businesses we see now come from kind of a rough start. Like, for example, I want to say Amazon started in a garage and look where it is now. Google, Apple, all that stuff. So it was surprising to find out, but it's like at the same time, it's a great business. So of course it's gonna come from like a rough start. Um, Gail didn't know her husband went into the club business, and when she found out, she was angry. I understand why she was angry. Sometimes us as wives and girlfriends, we are not comfortable with our partners and husbands and all that being at the strip club, so I get her anger. But that was messed up. Her husband had to hide what he was doing, like hide the income that's like paying the bills and stuff. But it's kind of a 50-50 situation with me. Atlanta strip clubs went from topless to nude in the early 1970s. And that made me think, I think Atlanta was probably one of the most progressive cities in the South because, people in the South are so conservative, like, fully clothed, I would never. So for going from topless to complete nude, like full frontal nudity, progression. And in the 70s. But then again, the 70s was kind of like freeing and free the nipple and all that stuff. Like, people were doing drugs and smoking weed and basically turning into Jimi Hendrix, if you will, just being rock stars, you know. In 1989, that's when the superstars really started showing up to Magic City, i.e., Dominique Wilkins, because Dominique Wilkins was like a huge star in the 80s for the Atlanta Hawks. Shaq got a call for 120 mil for his contract with the Orlando Magic in Magic City. That is a great story for Shaq to tell. I don't know if Shaq ever wrote a book, but if he did, he should definitely mention that story. To get a call while you getting booty cooch shaking in your face and you got a call saying you got a $120 million contract. That's just like an awesome story to tell. Maybe to the future generation. I don't know. People were moving to Atlanta in the 90s. Now, the reason why I put that in there is because I remember the wave of people moving to Atlanta in the 2000s. Maybe like 2005 to 2017, 18, 19? No, maybe 2022. From '05 to 22, that's when people were like moving to Atlanta in masses. And people be like, don't move to Atlanta. We full. We full. So I didn't know all that started in the 90s. I just always thought, okay, the popularity of the hip hop down there and all that stuff, people are moving down there in masses to be a part of it. But it always started back in the 90s. Let's see. The song Whoop There It Is was about Magic City. The DJ was in tag team. Now, I'm shocked to find that out because when I was in elementary school, they used to play that song a lot. Elementary school, children, I didn't know it was about the Magic City Strip Club. They should have thought about that when they were playing that around children. Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice was a strip club anthem. That I did not know. Because didn't, I could be wrong, didn't Stephanie Tanner on Full House dance to that song? I don't know. Maybe it was some kid family show that yeah, some kid family show let them dance to Ice Ice Baby on their show. But I didn't know that was a strip club anthem. Magic City Girls danced in the Outcast Bombs Over Baghdad. I always thought those were just regular dancers that, always do videos. I didn't know those were Magic City Girls. Janet Jackson went to Jermaine Dupri to Magic City. Janet Jackson is a gangster because I don't think Janet is really as innocent as she plays off to be in the media. I heard she beat up her father's side chick. So yeah, how do I describe it? It wasn't surprising, but it was like, kind of knew something that was up with Janet. Michael Barney got caught up in a cocaine ring. He was found guilty and he went to prison. So then he had to sell the club because of the felony. So what happened with the ownership? It got transferred to Derek Cooper, who is his brother-in-law. So I guess the brother to Gail, I'm assuming. And when the ownership changed, the atmosphere changed. So it went from good to bad. So what happened was, people started overcharging, customer service sucked, and someone even tried to burn the club down. Wild. And y'all know who was a suspect in that? Michael Childs, who I guess owns Club Nikki. If you listen to that song, it's a Yin Yang Twin songs with a host. I think they all dance at the Magic City. With a host, let me sing that game. I think they all danced at the Blue Flame. That song, I don't know the name of it, but they do mention Club Nikki in there. And Club Nikki is another club in Atlanta. The tip drill video was unscripted, even the credit card swipe. And the reason why I write that is like, I didn't know that, but it's not surprising because who would kind of script a credit card swipe down someone's butt crack? And Nelly got a lot of trouble for that, so don't forget that. Big Meech frequented Magic City. He used to live in Atlanta. I didn't know him and Jermaine Dupri were friends. I don't know if you guys follow Jermaine Dupri on YouTube or Instagram or something, but there's a video of Jermaine Dupri visiting Big Meech in Miami right after he got out of prison. So I didn't know they were friends like that, even after all these years. And Big Meech has been in prison since I was like 12, and he got out when I was 30. I'm still 30. I'll be 31 next month, or in 3 weeks, because I forget it's February 1st. So yeah. The dancers have been disrespected by male patrons. I've kind of seen it when I was at Magic City. I just couldn't say anything. I don't know, as a stripper, if you are a stripper, please comment. Do you like to be like hit on the butt by male patrons? Because I always thought when you go to a strip club, you can't touch the strippers, but I saw this one guy just spanking the stripper's butt, and I'm like, maybe she doesn't want that. I'm like, I don't know. But if that's the case, please let me know. Meech went a little overboard with BMF in the club. They showed the footage of BMF, the whole squad, him, Meech, Blue Da Vinci was there. All the BMF people were there. They were like 50 deep in there. And when BMF got started patrolling the Magic City, the violent rates escalated. And then Magic City was quiet when Meech got arrested and went to jail. Mr. Magic, he ended up serving 8 years from his cocaine ring situation, and Magic City was about to be sold on an auction block. That's kind of like a rise and fall, you know, situation. Like you were in the high in the 90s and 2000s, but then now your business is on the auction block. Gail and Magic separated. They ended up getting a divorce. I would understand because strip club business is not like normal. Um, so yeah. Mike Jr., who is Magic's son, he runs the club now, and dancers ended up suing Magic City over wages. So to answer my last question of what I want to know, they did the 6 feet during the pandemic, but when I was there, they didn't really do that. Like people were getting lap dances and stuff as normal business. And the kitchen part, as we all know, grew. So at the end, as I always do, what did I like and what did I dislike? I like that the former dancers had a platform to tell their stories because back in the 80s, there was no internet like we have it now. There was no computers, no social media. They probably would not have a platform to tell their stories. A lot of celebrity appearances, Nelly, Shaq, T.I., because they all either lived in Atlanta or, you know, live in Atlanta currently. There were animated side sections, so it wasn't like a monotone, boring documentary. And there was sisterhood in the club. Now, you know, sometimes we do hear about competition and all that stuff in strip clubs, but there was sisterhood in the club. And what did I dislike? I kind of judged Gail, Mr. Magic's ex-wife. She kind of gave me like a turn up nose attitude, if you guys know what I mean by that. And the episodes were just too short. I just wish, you know, they could have done like a 2 hour long and tell the whole story. So that is my review on the Magic City documentary. It's on Starz. If you have the app, it's still probably on there. And thank y'all for listening. More to come. Peace.